Man, I never know why these thumbnails work. Am I becoming old? Is this it? Like, you put a person with a gaping mouth going, oh, and then people click it. Is this a thing? Like, you do realize that this person just made this face and then took a picture and put it in a thumbnail. I guess I'm probably a little bit jealous because I utterly suck at making thumbnails. I think, like, out of all the content creators, I am the absolute worst at making thumbnails. So when I see someone like this, I just cope and seethe. No, but it's like, it's kind of the incentive, isn't it? Like, everyone does it, so you gotta do it too, because it's what works. It's the meta. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the dislike button, and this is a very good article. It came out recently, and I can't help but agree with this statement. One of YouTube's greatest assets has always been the fact that it's interactive, thanks to the like and dislike buttons. So it's not just that it's interactive, I mean, it's literally why it was replacing television. Now, it's very difficult for people to understand, but this was actually the case. Back in 2016, and all the way to 2018, mainstream media was plummeting in ratings. And it was independent YouTubers who were gaining in ratings. So what happens is that the mainstream media starts the apocalypse, and a lot of advertisers pull out from YouTube, and I guess YouTube manages to cut a deal with the mainstream media and changes its algorithms as well as favors mainstream media outlets. For example, Fox News, CNN, if you go into the search engine and you search for anything political, those are the search results that come up. Sky News, CNN, MSNBC, The Guardian. They changed their search engine, and all the YouTubers that were making independent content have been buried by the algorithm. And it's not just newsworthy events. I mean, even if you search for gaming, you're probably going to see websites like IGN, GameSpot. So this is how the mainstream media managed to regain control, by getting YouTube to change its algorithm in order to promote the mainstream media. But even with that said, I mean, right now, the most popular person is Joe Rogan. I don't know how many people know this, but if you look at the number of views that he is getting, he is far more popular than the most popular person on cable. I mean, he gets more views than Tucker Carlson. And Tucker Carlson is the most popular person. And a lot has to do with this, with the fact that it's interactive. When you watch television, you see the man in the idiot box telling you what to think. And there is no dislike button, there is no comments, there's nothing. You just get told, and that's it. And you notice that when the internet became a thing, people had the ability to comment, people had the ability to thumbs up or thumbs down. Videos that were popular, that the people decided they were popular, were pushed to the top, and videos that the people didn't like were pushed to the bottom. And this is why the mainstream media was dying on the internet. And in order to help the mainstream media, they had to remove all of this interactivity. Most mainstream media's websites have comments with disabilities. You can't comment, you can't say anything. It's like watching TV again. And now YouTube removed the dislike button. Now, this was a very unpopular decision. An extremely unpopular decision. And apparently, the CEO of YouTube is aware of this. We knew that it was going to be controversial. Now, take into account that when you talk about a CEO, you're actually talking about the ambassador of a company. They're representing the company's interest, and part of their job is to sugarcoat things, to present unpopular things to the public in a nice way. So when she says that removing the dislike button is controversial, she is completely lowballing it. I don't know a single YouTuber, big or small, that enjoys this decision. I'm not saying that they don't exist, but I just don't know any people that are like, oh, I am so glad that the dislike button is removed. Because before this, you actually had the ability to hide the dislike button if you didn't want to. If you didn't want to see it, you could just hide it. Now, YouTube creators like myself, we also enjoy watching YouTube videos, and we also enjoy reacting to the content we see. Like sometimes I see a video and I do want to give it a thumbs up. Other times I dislike it and I want to give it a thumbs down. Like it's an interaction that was removed from me that used to be there before. And of course, no one likes that. Like, no one likes being told that you're now limited in the possibility to interact with something that you enjoyed interacting with before. So this is why almost everyone is upset. Now, I'm not saying that there might not be a YouTuber out there somewhere that enjoys this, but mostly it's corporations that enjoy it. You know, corporations like Gillette, they want to put an advertisement out there and they don't like seeing people thumb it down. And instead of like having a little bit time to reflect and think about like why are people thumbing it down and why are they investing money in advertisement that is despised by the people so that they can change and stop doing that. Instead, they're more happy if the thumbs down button is removed. Very bizarre way of thinking. And then you have politicians. I mean, almost every single White House press conference had a lot of thumbs down. So again, like the politicians, instead of reflecting why are people upset with them, they would just rather silence the people that are upset. Because this is the only way I can see why YouTube removed the dislike button. Now, Susan Wojcicki says that no, like the reason the dislike button was removed is to keep the health and safety of small creators. Like, first of all, I can still see the dislikes. Like, we as creators can still see the number of dislikes we're getting. You guys can't see it. You don't know how much dislikes I got, but I can see them. So, assuming that I would be triggered by them, how exactly would it help me in any way, shape, or form? It doesn't, right? Like, it's an outright lie. And secondly, the idea that you can get brigaded and you can get your videos disliked if you're a small creator is ridiculous. I have never seen it happen. Again, maybe it has happened throughout the history of YouTube, but it's very rare. Like, if you're just a small creator and you're starting, and you got like 1,000 subscribers, almost all of them are going to be loyal people that enjoy your content. You're rarely going to get the dislike. And big creators, like let's say someone with 100,000 subscribers, aren't going to go out of their way in order to attack someone with 1,000 subscribers. Like, let's assume that a person with 1,000 subscribers want to start shit with me. And they make this video and they're mocking me and they're ridiculing me, right? And they're screaming there in their little internet corner. Like, I would have two choices. Number one, I could engage with that. But if I engage with that, I would give them what they want. Because now, like, every one of you guys would know that that channel exists. So you might even start hate watching them. And that's one way a lot of channels grew on YouTube, by the way. They grew off this controversy. Like, they would attack a bigger creator. The bigger creator would make a response video. And they would get subscribers, they would get views. But alternatively, you can ignore them, which is what most YouTubers do. Like, if you have someone small that's starting up, and they're giving you shit, and you're looking at what they're saying, and it's not genuine criticism, like they're not actually, you know, saying something meaningful or actually trying to criticize your channel, but you know they're starting shit just because they want your attention, the best thing to do is to not give their attention. So it wouldn't even lead to massive dislikes and downvotes and that type of thing, because the internet just doesn't work that way. The only time people get dislikes is if they're either in a controversy, if they turn on their audience, or if they're a big brand, a politician that is saying stuff that people don't want to hear. Or if it's legitimately a bad video. And by the way, like, another group of people that would get dislikes were scammers. Like, there were so many videos that you would know they're bad and they're trying to scam you just because you would look at the dislike and it was like a record number and you're like, hold on, what is going on here? And the dislikes would also bury the video under the algorithm. But unfortunately, we don't get to see that anymore. What is interesting, though, is that the YouTube CEO knows that this decision is very unpopular, but she did it anyway. So that's what I got from this interview. And also the fact that these are the thumbnails that I should start to make. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.